Well, hello there, my friends. Welcome to another episode here of Strategic Command World War I. We are playing as the Kaiser, of course, and a lot has happened in the last turn. That being said, this turn is a whole new one, and we have a lot going on here in June of 1915, late June of 1915. Specifically, we have a lot of MPP to spend. So one thing I want to do, I'd love to just go ahead and purchase units right now, but I think it's important to make sure that all of our fronts are pretty secure, especially since the French should be gunning for a few key cities here on the Western Front, and I really just want to be as strong as possible, not to mention the British here. The British are also going to be gunning for the same cities here, specifically Brussels. Luckily, it's pretty strong at the moment, and I'd like it to be even stronger. Now, I talked about last turn my goals in the Eastern Front, and those pretty much remain the same. Pretty much, I want to do a counterattack here and really damage the Czar. We've already destroyed so many Russian units on this front. It's actually been, I think, a big problem for the Russians. So I'm hoping to continue that and just utterly destroy them. So we're going to go ahead and start firing here, or start attacking with a few different units. I've got some plans, but I'm pretty sure we can wipe out entire armies here fairly quickly. And let's switch these two units. We're going to attack with the First Corps. That's right, the First Corps. And we will continue to try and destroy some more of these Russian units along this front. I really think we can do some amazing things here. Maybe even change the outcome of the First World War, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Who knows? There we go. Another shattered Russian army. I told you, this is our great, glorious Eastern counterattack. Let's hope it works. Maybe we don't attack with the detachment. Yeah, let's try with the regular forces, or maybe... I think in this area, it might be best for us just to try and hold against the enemy. We can go ahead and attack and damage him, but we're probably not going to go for the kill. Well, you know what? This area is an industrial area. If we can take this detachment away for one turn, no, it's just not going to be enough. Nonetheless, you can see the damage we're doing here, and let's see if we can continue it with our Austro-Hungarians. I think with them, we're also going to have to reinforce. We can't forget to try and purchase some more units by the end of this turn. Now, of course, let's wipe out that cavalry behind us. That's an embarrassment. To leave the fronts just to retake that area. And we'll take this unit. Perfect time to put him there. Reinforce this eastern unit as well. We're really just giving the Russians hell. They have lost so many armies during this war. I think more than any of the factions. Hello, Kaiser. Good to see you, my friend. Drive towards them. Yes, we are. We are doing our best. Now, here in Serbia, don't think much is going to happen besides some good old-fashioned reinforcement. We do have to keep an eye on our German Navy as well. We really do. I'm going to reinforce him. This is going to be very expensive. Even just for a destroyer alone is going to be expensive. We'll reinforce the Dreadnought. I hope there's enough left over for the men. I'll bring this guy over here to this port, and hopefully we'll have a pretty functional Navy. We've also got a tremendous amount of subs here. Start to bring some of them back. Actually, I'll bring the more damaged ones back. The ones that are still intact, I'll leave out here for a bit. Ooh, look at this. We've got some British ships. I think we're going to go for the attack. No, that would be bad. Let's retire our Navy for a turn or two. Send it into neutral waters. While we kind of rebuild those other ships. I think that's a safe thing to do. Now, as for the Western Front, really not much I want to do over here except eventually get some air units. In fact, I might purchase some air units for Germany. I think that's going to be important. So let's go for the fighters or some heavy bombers. 175. Let's do it. I'm also going to try and get some core for our Germans. And over here for our Austro-Hungarians, unfortunately, they can't afford much except reinforcements and replacements. A lot have been lost in this combat. Robert says, "Hail them, Kaiserreich, and hail Xenu." I'm not sure why hail Xenu. We are not sponsored by Scientology, though if they're interested, listen, you know, YouTube's tough these days, guys. That's why I ask for donations. Hey, you know, we're more than happy to spread the message of glorious Xenu. All right, here we go. Let's max reinforce here on the Eastern Front as well. I think we've got a great thing going on the East. I'm not sure how far we can push it, but if we can take Warsaw, if we can take Brest-Litovsk and Ivangorod, that would be such huge victories. And maybe just on the East, all we need to do is hold out. Now, I'm going to still try to destroy some of the French armies. We've already done a number on them, and look at that. Amazing. We could even push for Belfort, a French secondary supply zone, and we could even push our men into the Vosges. I think I'm going to try. A little bit of a risk, I must admit, but what we'll do is try to set up trenches next turn, and Vosges, this forested area, will be ours. I think if it's just a little bit of a problem for the enemy, then that's great for us. That air war continues. Hello, James. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you love it. James is a member, and I really just, my members, they're like my my sort of centurions at the very top. You know, they pay to really enjoy this channel, and I appreciate it. So James's opinion does matter to me, and that's why I do love to play good old Strategic Command World War I, man. Especially since we're doing so well in the East here. I mean, it's interesting. Now, we have to also focus on the Turkish front, try to do something here. I really don't think there's much, except we can maybe cause some confusion amongst the Russians. That's about the only thing I can really see us doing. Let's see. And also holding off the British as they try to advance into Palestine. Beautiful. We might actually be able to destroy a British army here. Please, Lawrence of Arabia, don't show up. We don't need you right now. Now, I'd love to get my Ottomans and my Austro-Hungarians into combat, but if I can avoid it, I certainly will. However, I will try to get a German U-boat into the enemy trade ports. Supposedly the enemy trade ports here, but these are leading to Austro-Hungarian territory, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, you know what? I lied. We're going to get into combat. Maybe a mistake? Right off the coast of Albania here. I wonder, should we declare war on Albania, take it, and then we can come through Serbia from the south? I don't know. Maybe that's a terrible idea. I think it probably is. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Let's see. Got some more Turks on the way, but actually, I think they should actually get back in port. It'd be great if the Turks had access to subs. Unfortunately, they really don't. I wonder if we can even purchase submarines for our Turks. We can! You know what? This might be a blessing in disguise, because we can cut off Greek trade as well. I think that's about all we're going to be doing this turn, boys. Pretty sure we've done everything we can. We can reinforce, of course. Well, no, we can't. Not in the north. So you know what? I'm actually going to switch these units out. We definitely need some German units there in the north, some reinforcing units. Additional entrenchments always works out. And let's get a shot off on the British. Alright, my friends, we are ending the turn. Man, it has been this is probably our longest turn yet. Let's see what happens here. And you know what? We actually do still have a few massive ships here. Let's get those into the ports. Really just want to rebuild our navy. Get them back into fighting shape. Yeah, exactly. Kaiser says make sure the Entente don't pull a Gallipoli. A successful Gallipoli. Exactly. That would be a problem. All right, more units of Kitchener's new army deployed for service. So the British are sending more and more units here to the front. And it seems like they're almost taking over, very much like World War I, taking over combat duty here in late 1915 because the French have lost so many men. So, they sort of need to, have some additional units there on the front. All right, more progress in infantry weapons development for our Austro-Hungarians. Almost successful there completely. Now, as long as the French don't break through, I'll be happy. But that western front is quite fragile until we send some more units there. We really need, like, a secondary line. And actually, the game sort of sets you up with an initial secondary line, which we're supposed to keep, but we, of course, haven't. Here come the glorious and victorious Italians. They're going to be a big problem here for us in the Mediterranean, and more specifically here, the Adriatic Sea. This is brutal stuff. I think the Navy will help us, says James Watson. I think if we can rebuild that Navy in the north, yeah, absolutely. They're going to be useful, but it's going to take a lot of national morale points to put into Navy. And the question is, do we want to spend those national morale points rebuilding these massive battleships, or do we want to spend it purchasing some new infantry, corps? I don't know. I mean, both are useful, but right now I think the most important thing is to get more infantry on the field, upgrade the infantry with our research points as we've been doing, and just continue this attack in the east. Look at that. The Russians still have units with 10 in them. So despite us destroying so many of their armies, they're still cycling new units. But we're going to keep on attacking, man. I think we can make it through here. Our men are fighting so bravely. And of course, the Italians here are going to be a problem. We need to get our Austro-Hungarian units there on the Italian front. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to help in Serbia or in the east. Please don't attack too roughly here, my friends. Make sure to hit that like button, my friends, if you enjoy this particular series, especially. There is a timeline 1917 for this, Jaco. There's a 1917 starting point, but we decided to start in the, the beginning of the war. I thought that would be fun to sort of see just how far we could get. I think I'll be happy if we just make it as far as the actual Central Powers did, but, I have hopes for maybe greater things. Maybe we can go even further. Look at those British bombers. Good attack! So we've got some aces already in our squadron, taking down a few of the British fighter planes, or excuse me, bombers. Now, we don't have any actual fighters on the eastern front, though. That might be something we want to look into, although honestly, I would probably dedicate all of our fighters here just to the western front. Got some French artillery bombarding us. Seems pretty daily occurrence for our men at this point. I hate that the Italians are on the Entente side. It just caused a lot of damage here. I have to send some units to Vienna to fortify it. And enemy units attacking us at Cambrai. The Battle of Cambrai here happening July 3rd, I should say, 1915. Incredible. And they have moved us out of that industrial center. We have units to move in there, but if they decide to take it, it's actually quite a trap. It's a trap for us, and it's a trap for them. If you go into that area, you tend to get destroyed pretty quickly. The problem here is also that we have cavalry on the front line. Oh, that is a great movie, James Watson. That's one of my favorite movies, man. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. John Candy and Steve Martin. And I have to admit, I'm not a fan of Steve Martin. I can't stand Steve Martin, dude. I love John Candy, though. I actually think I am very similar to John Candy, personality-wise. At least, the way he comes across in his films. Sort of, overly nice, etc. Oh, what a great film, man. That is a really great film. I did think Steve Martin did a great job in that. Ooh, Ooh, Harry Turtledove. I used to have some of those books. Aren't those the books where, like, the Confederacy wins the Civil War and goes into, like, the Industrial Age? Yeah. I've read some of them. I liked them a lot when I was much younger. And I would probably still enjoy them. I just don't get around to reading a lot of books these days. That's a problem, my friends. Enemy breaking a gap here in our front. We've got to fill it. We'll probably have to fill it with cavalry, but we better hope that we get some infantry here to get in there and do something about that situation. The Western Front is much more brutal during this actual Let's Play, as opposed to the actual Western Front. I mean, it's incredible, just the amount of losses that have happened for both sides here. We're certainly into the millions of casualties on both sides for sure. Robert says, Italy is vowed to invade the Rhine. Don't say such things, but you might be right. We just have to hope we can do something here. Must have faith in our men. Alright, German forces surrender in Southwest Africa. Not what we wanted to hear, but that is the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Alright, most pressing matter to attend to. Well, first of all, come to our attention that General Ville, Commander-in-Chief of the Swiss Armed Forces, is planning to ask the Swiss Federal Council to enter the war on our side. Oh, yes. The Swiss on our side? Really? How amazing would that be? Alright, we need to do something about this gap in our lines. So we have this unit. This is what we're going to do. It's actually a pretty easy fix. The problem is that guy. He's at 5. Oh, that's not good. Okay, we're still okay. But that was definitely a problem. We might want to attack the British this turn and soften up that unit, because that's not good at all. They really did quite a number on us, and I think it's because of the strength here of the British forces supporting them. Although, then again, we have a nice French unit, meaty attack that we could get. I can't believe I'm using the word meaty in this context, but I think it's pretty much applies. Yeah, I'm just going to attack the French here. Oh, yes. Yes! Right there, I told you it was a trap. And I'm just hoping that they don't, you know, make do on that trap and end up breaking through this area. I don't think they will, though. Of course, it's always something to be concerned about. But for now, until we get those reinforcements on this front, we need to just reinforce our cavalry units. I mean, they've held so far, so let's hope that they will continue to hold. We don't even have any units to take the Cambrai center, even if we want to retake. And look at that. These look like Algerian units. They are indeed colonial corps. Man, that's a problem. Wish we had more infantry. Maybe we should bring this guy to the Western Front. I think it's a bit late, though. He's already here. So let's continue our attack on the Eastern Front. Still destroying the Tsar's men and taking this territory back. I want some cities. Look at the difference there just in our infantry attack and their defense. We're far superior. We could just switch out one more unit, and I think we can. Although it is just a detachment. No, yeah, that's not going to work. We must hold Oppeln, boys. It'd be great if we could also link our German and Austro-Hungarian forces, and I think we could right here. Although I think we should hold our position for now. But this just shows you how close the two fronts are to each other. Yeah, I think we should start pushing north here. This was our plan all along, is to merge them. But at what point should we commence the Austro-Hungarian merge. You guys know what I mean? Where should we start the attack here? Because our Austro-Hungarians are not going to be as strong as our Germans. I mean, I think we should go this way because we'll at least cross the river. And we'll start attacking their artillery. It's a bit early, but I think it's just the best we can do. It's the most realistic outcome, at least. Let's extend those lines. And yeah, we're not going to do very well against the Russians here. They seem to be maybe Cossacks. They're just a lot stronger than the other Russians up here in this area. These seem to hail from Moscow, St. Petersburg, but they're city boys. But these guys over here on our Austro-Hungarian lines, a lot tougher. That, or maybe our Austro-Hungarian forces more than likely are just not as strong as our German forces. It's probably the answer. Alright. Yeah, again, I'll just reinforce here. Still want to see if we can use some MPP for our Germans to continue purchasing units. Let's get some core. What do we have coming? Man, we're not getting core for quite a while. Let's purchase. Purchase. 2 core seems great for me. For our Austro-Hungarians, we have no air force. Might be a good time to go ahead and purchase some bombers. And I think we'll call it a day there, pretty much. I think I'll hold off for now. Again, I'll just reinforce the remaining units. And let's see if we can't do something about our Navy, too. We've done everything we can. We just have to continue to repair these guys. It's really the best course of action. And can we do anything at all here in the Adriatic? I think we actually can. Look at this. We're going to destroy some French ships pretty quickly. Bring our Ottoman ship over here. Oh, we took quite a hit. We're going to take out the Kobe dreadnought. And we actually took out one of our Ottomans, but we know they're not going to do very well out here either way. So we might as well try to come out of this with a kill on the enemy. Alright, not bad. Yeah, it's tough. I think it's best just to go to the city. Try to hold the cities as long as possible, really. Otherwise, I see no point here. We could try and send some of these larger, these corps up to the north. Kind of see what happens. But I think we also need to send quite a few down here to take on the British. We're very close to destroying some actual entire British divisions here. Which, for this front, a division is worth a lot. Oh, I thought you could make it, boys. I thought you could make it. Nothing from the Ottomans, says Joshua. Yeah, exactly. There's very little we could do with the Ottomans. We have still put some research into them as well. And I think, you know what? Speaking of that, let's see if we can't give them some infantry warfare research. That's going to help a lot. And just the basic stuff, trench warfare as well. This is even more useful than purchasing more units for them. And we only have 6 MPP left with our Germans and only 3 with our Austro-Hungarians. So you can see just how many points we've spent here. Let's just hope we can continue to hold, my friends. We shall end the turn here. Make sure I can't do anything else. How do you guys think our eastern attack has gone so far? Either let us know here in the chat or down in the comments below. I think it's been pretty great. Not sure if it's going to continue to be great, but if we could take the Polish capital, Warsaw, I think that would be a hell of an achievement here. All right, let's end the turn. It's going well, says Joshua. Thanks, man. And of course, we're almost into 1916. Before long here, we'll be into 1916. 200,000 Welsh miners on strike over pay. Okay, we've got some strikes in the UK. It's going to mess things up a bit. Some trade unions causing some trouble here to our advantage. Beautiful. Austro-Hungary develops industrial technology level 1, guys. It's not a huge bonus, but a little bonus, you know, to our overall war goals. Oh, look at that. We just jumped to 11 viewers. Don't forget to hit that like button, please, my friends. Don't forget that super chat button is there to throw war bonds to the Central Powers. The Kaiser thanks you in advance. Especially good folks like James Watson, true citizens of the Reich. You know, really just members of the Reich. Got a lot of respect for those people here in the Central Powers. I fear for our boys in the Adriatic, but I just don't think this is a feasible goal to hold, especially with the Italians in the war. So I think we should just try to do as much damage as we can, but you can see they are overwhelming us here quite a bit. Look at those Russians. They're actually pulling back. Now we could advance, take some more Russian territory. Just need some more men here on the Western Front to keep me a little more comfortable with our current situation. Joshua says he has respect for the Ottomans. Well, they are a great force, and, you know, throughout the war, as the war continues, they will get stronger. And obviously at places like Gallipoli, they really did show what good warriors they were. But unfortunately, against a more conventional army, they just didn't stand up in most cases. Not always, but at least early war, they just didn't stand up. And this reflects that pretty well. I think the Italians will sink our entire Ottoman navy. Once again, our fighters just devastating the British bombers coming over the English Channel. Thankfully, that's not going so well for them, but we still have a lot of fighting here on the Western Front. And again, with this cavalry on the front, I'm very concerned. Come on, boys. Hold on. Hold on. Even the Serbs are attacking. Now, usually they do nothing, but they're actually switching out units to attack our Austro-Hungarian forces here in Serbia. And of course, the Italians continue to push through. Until we get some reinforcements, there's not much we can do here. Except move detachments around, and that is not going to do much. Imagine if we're foiled by the Italians. That would be an interesting end here to the First World War. The Italians taking Vienna. But even then, the First World War wouldn't be over. It would kick Austro-Hungary out of the war, though. We don't want that to happen. We may even need to collapse these very successful Eastern fronts to be able to protect the capital from the Italians. And I think that is just such a unfortunate occurrence if it has to happen. But if we have to do it, we have to do it. What can I say? Robert Roberts, yes, pray the Swiss save you from Italy. Exactly, man. That would be amazing if the Swiss join the war here and are able to put another front against the Italians from the Alps. That would be amazing. I'm sure they can't contribute too many units, but I would imagine that the Swiss troops are very well trained, or at least capable of some conventional warfare here. Yeah, I really think we're going to have to collapse our Serbian front to deal with the Italians. It's gotten that bad. That is true, Robert Roberts. Then again, they haven't fought too many battles in more modern times. I think they are well-trained and well-prepared. Would be a really interesting addition to our sort of alternate view. I mean, this has certainly become an alternate World War I already, which is pretty cool. We've done very well on the Eastern Front. At the same time, on the Western Front, the French have managed to take a little bit of our territory. But overall, it's pretty similar. Now, of course, Trieste has fallen to Austria-Hungary. We must do something there in Austria-Hungary, and I'm really hoping we get some reinforcements this turn to mitigate that. The French ace Georges Gaumier gains his first kill over the Western Front. All right, well, good for you, Frenchie. We're going to destroy your country. Just wait. Just wait. It's coming. All right, well, there we go. Let's get into battle. So there we go. We do have some German corps. That is exactly what we need. Let's see. Yeah, best place we can place him right now is right here near Luxembourg. And eventually we'll move in. The Algerians are causing us problems. For now, I think best thing to do, reinforce these areas. I'd love to build more trenches, but with the amount of men they're killing, we need more young men on the front lines as quickly as possible. So for now, let's do that. Even with our cavalry, they've done okay. I mean, honestly, pretty decent trench force. Thought they would be terrible, but they're doing all right. In fact, I'm even going to get a little attack here on the French, just to force them to cycle that unit, and I'll cycle this one. And again, no reinforcements at all for our Austro-Hungarian forces. This means for sure we have to start sending some forces over here to deal with the Italians. So we'll take the... oh god, I'm not going to count that. Is that the 14th Corps? I think I'm right on that. Or is it the... the 16th Corps? It might be the 16th Corps, pardon me. So we're going to move him up as well. 2 armies that we're going to move there. I hope that's enough. The Italians are not that good. They're probably not even as good as our Austro-Hungarians. However, actually they might be like right on par with our Austro-Hungarians. So we really need those forces to get here quickly. Great opportunity here to cut the Russians off completely and continue to just dish out massive damage. Opeln. Yes! Another Russian army shattered. Let's get another one. I am just addicted to destroying Russian armies. Just look at this. Our men on the Eastern Front must have some excellent war fervor. Look at that. Destruction reigns on the Eastern Front, and we are just crushing here. I wonder, like, what the benefits are, though. I mean, obviously, we grab national morale from the Russians. We might be able to take them out of the war. At that point, we would be able to transfer all of our troops over to the west. In fact, if you look at this area here, there are no Russians. I mean, maybe we could just move forward, take Johannesburg, take Grodno, maybe even move all the way to Vilna and cut them off at Brest-Litovsk. I mean, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments here and in the comments of the video and in the chat, because I think before we move forward, we absolutely need the strategic opinion of the Agrippa Maxentius community. I mean, this is a big move. I think there's a lot we could do on the Eastern Front and really approach this in quite an interesting way. Maybe retaking Poland, maybe making our focus taking Russia out of the war, and maybe even having a relief effort or a plan, you know, to stop this aggression from Italy, because they're getting awfully close to our capital of Vienna. In fact, I'm going to get a detachment over there very quickly, but this is worrying me, and I think that there's just so many opportunities here for a really nice victory, or at least, you know, extending the war far beyond what the war would have, or was, you know, initially, of course. But I'll let you guys decide. Got a lot of chatters here. Good to see you guys. Robert Roberts, I love that. Charge forward for the Two Emperors. I think we'll call our next episode Legacy of the Two Emperors. I think that's a great name. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. As always, I appreciate it. I think next episode, we've got a lot of work out ahead of us. We've got to rebuild our Navy, of course. We've started doing that, but we need to continue. We've got to reinforce our Western Front, which I think is going to be okay, and we need a big plan from you guys, the viewers, about what to do here in the East. I think there's a big opportunity here, and I'm not really sure what it is, because I see an open space here. Should we move forward here? Of course, I'm going to continue my attack here, but should we take our Austro-Hungarians and retreat from one of these fronts to stop the Italians? This is another big threat to us right now. So let me know, guys. And again, thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one. Hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and of course, subscribe if you are new. And I love this. Kaiser von Werner, opportunity awaits. Liberate Prussia. Glory to East Prussia. And I hope that's exactly what we do, Kaiser. Thank you, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.